How do you always know where to find me?
Look, I did some snooping down at the Hall of Records, and then I had a friend of mine from the IRS pull some tax papers for you.
Let me take a look at that. Who's this guy, Matthew Levi?
Oh, well, that's my guy at the IRS. Anyway, I checked the public record and I didn't find much.
At least we know he paid his taxes. Okay.
And check out the articles I found. Now, look, they called him the Miracle Man.
Miracle Man. That name sounds familiar. Children, community activist, food bank organizer. It says here that he was a major contributor to many charities. Yeah, give me those IRS papers.
Oh, there you go. All right, I'll catch you later. I gotta get back to the office.
Yeah, sure, Kip.
They say her name is Scarlett, and with an address not too far away from the station. Later on that night, I decided to pay her a little visit. I figured one more clue wouldn't hurt, even though I knew she was a woman with a questionable background. But still, she could prove to be a valuable asset to my case.
WH Community Center, how may I direct your phone call? One moment, please. Good evening, how can I help you?
I was told by Mr. Jeff Henry to come in and fill out a couple of forms.
Yes, did he say what types of forms?
No, he didn't say. He just said that they'd be available sometime today.
Okay, and what was your name?
Sharon Smith.
Right here.
Thank you.
Here you are. Have a great day.
Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening.
Hi, I'm Detective Saunders, LAPD.
Yes, sir.
I'm looking for Scarlett Stapleton.
Yes, one moment. Yes, Miss Stapleton. A Detective Saunders is here to see you? Yes, ma'am. She's finishing up with her day, but she will see you, sir. If you take a right, she's 4 cubicles down and she'll be waiting for you there.
Thank you.
Thank you. Have a lovely evening.
You too, ma'am. Hello, Miss Stapleton. Detective Saunders, LAPD. I'm investigating a grave robbing. May we sit down? Would you happen to know Emmanuel Sargalogos?
Yes, he was my defense attorney.
What? I thought he was in the carpentry business. How long has he been a lawyer?
I don't know. I didn't know he was a carpenter. He was my public defender when I was arrested on some prostitution charges. I got caught up with these crooked cops who solicited my services, but then had the nerve to want to arrest me after I demanded that they pay me for my services. They told the judge that they raided the motel room and caught me in the act. Well, when the judge saw the evidence against me, he was ready to send me to prison. I didn't want to go to prison, but Mr. Sargalogos stepped right in on time. And when he was done defending me, I was fully acquitted.
Well, what happened to the cops who hustled you?
I don't know if they were reprimanded or not, but they still work at Parker Precinct.
Parker Precinct? Well, that's where I work. How long ago was this trial?
About 3 years ago.
Well, would you have any reason to know why somebody might want to steal his body?
I have no idea why someone would want to steal his body.
Okay, well, I appreciate your time, Miss Stapleton.
Emmanuel Sargalogos must have meant a lot to Scarlett. She gave me a lot of information she wouldn't normally have revealed. But at least that put me on the right track. Now knowing that Sargalogos had some experience in law that put us in somewhat of the same ballpark. Now, I couldn't help but notice Kip's smoking car following me around the city in my rearview mirror. So I decided to stop for lunch at his favorite place, Stinky Lulu's.
What'll it be, sugar?
I'll have a hamburger with cheese, hold the pickles, and Coke.
One burger cow with shot curry, no cucumbers.
One burger cow, shot curry, no cucumbers. Pick it up.
May I have some ketchup, please, ma'am?
What you mean you won't catch up? You didn't order no ketchup?
I'd like some ketchup for my burger.
Nobody didn't ask you to get no squashed tomatoes for my customers.
Squash? We ain't got no squash.
He's with me.
Oh, because if you think you was gonna ease up on my tip, you can kiss my grit, sucker.
Grits! Pick it up.
Dude, I hate this place. Every time I come here, that lady gives me a hard time. You know what? Her breath stinks too. I don't know whether to give her a Tic Tac or some toilet paper. What about the guy that got serving food back there? Where'd they find him? Some dirty bum convention? Why do you even eat here?
Kip, why are you talking about my mom and dad like that? They've had this place for 25 years.
Oh, you know what? I got some information for you. Look. Here is the business license of that place you had me pull from the Hall of Records. It says that the carpentry business on the tax form is registered. Wait a minute. That's odd. There's no name or address. Anyway, I talked to a couple of people who worked with this guy in the community, and they said that he had this big outreach that he was trying to touch lives with. And I talked to this other guy, right? He worked with him at the Children's Center. He said that the reason that he was killed was because he was messing in the profits of the doctors, the lawyers, and the religious leaders.
Well, that's interesting. I just had an interview with a woman who said that he was her lawyer. I've been thinking about her ever since. I wonder who originally investigated this case, and why didn't they put the cause of death on the report? Kip, take a look at this.
What is it? It's blank.
Now, look at the envelope.
Oh, it's addressed to a Mr. and Mrs. Humes?
Mm-hmm. And the postmark date.
This was sent 2 days ago.
Now, you tell me, how could a man who's dead send a letter 2 days ago?
Well, maybe he had somebody send it for him, or maybe it got lost in the mail.
Maybe it's a clue. Look, I got an informant in about 10 minutes. How about I give you a call tomorrow?
You ready to eat, honey?
Oh, not here.
Figured it was time to follow the clues, especially the latest edition. But I still had several questions in my mind that were throwing me for a loop. Who took the body? Why? How did they lift the dirt with no evidence of a shovel? And how come grave clothes were left? And why did I find part of the covering for the head 7 feet away? Why are there only footprints going away from the body? Why were the robbers not wearing shoes? What does Anno Domini? How come the same fingerprints on the grave clothes were on the coffin? What is this blank letter anyway? To make the game more interesting, I get this email with some molecular formula for invisible ink. I mixed some chemicals together and introduced it to that letter I got. And what do you know? Just like magic.